Hi everyone, welcome back. Today's video is part 2 of my top 3 in every makeup category. Today we're talking about eyes and lips and brows too. If you missed part 1, I did all of my complexion favorites. I will link that above and below for you if you haven't seen it. Today we're going to focus on the eyes and the lips. And if you're new here, my name is Blair. I do all kinds of beauty and makeup content here on YouTube every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I hope you'll subscribe and let's get started. All right, let's start out with brows. I have to say this was one of the easiest categories for me to pick. I pretty much knew very quickly what my top 3 products were. The first is what I have in my brows today. You've heard me talk about this a bunch of times. The Rare Beauty Shape and Fill Brow Duo. I have loved this from the very first time that I tried it months ago in a full face of Rare Beauty. I fell in love with this. I still love it. This is such an amazing product. I feel like a very underrated product from Rare Beauty. I feel like most of her products get super popular and very hyped up. This one did not, and it deserves to be. It is so nice. So you get a darker shade and a lighter shade in here. I use mostly the darker shade. I really only use the lighter shade in the very inner corner of or the beginning of my brows. I use the darker shade the most, but this is so nice. It is just the most natural, easy to apply eyebrow product. It looks just like your natural brows. I don't know how to explain it other than it gives you the look of your own brows, but just a little bit more perfected version. It's very natural, very easy to apply. Has a little brush that comes in here, and I actually do use this brush. I think the brush works great. Has a little spoolie if you need that. This is such a fantastic product. If you are a big fan of natural, very natural eyebrows, you don't like the look of super done, filled in brows, this is a fantastic product. If I'm going to use a pencil, which I do a lot, the pencil I use the most, I have a lot of brow pencils that I like and I think are great, but the one I use the most is this one. This is the L'Oreal Brow Stylist Definer. In fact, this one is empty. I have none left. I can't even twist this one up anymore, so I'm out of this. But this is my favorite. I have lots of brow pencils, and a lot of affordable drugstore brow pencils are amazing. I love the NYX one, I love the CoverGirl one, but I do find I reach for this one the most. I think the formula on this is a little bit waxy with a little bit of creaminess, but you get the best of both with this one. And the color that I wear is perfect for me, which is ash brown. I definitely will repurchase this once I use up a few other things, but by far my most used at the moment is this one from L'Oreal. And then the most recent brow favorite is kind of random because this product has been out forever, but I am just now discovering how great it is. It's the Benefit 24-Hour Brow Setter. This is just a clear brow gel, but it sets your brows in place without laminating them to your face or making them feel kind of crunchy and gross. I really don't like that. I'm kind of getting away from the laminated brow look right now. I was very into that for a while, but now I just like a good old brow gel that's clear, that keeps them in place, but doesn't feel heavy or thick in your brows, and that's exactly what this does. I have a mini, and when I use this up, I will definitely buy the full size. All right, let's move on to eyeshadow. I'm gonna do single shadows first. So I did pick 3. I've been very into single shadows recently, and these 3 I use all the time. They are my very top favorites. The first one is the Armani Eye Tint. I have a bunch of these, but this one by far is my favorite. It's the shade 22M. It's the perfect mid-toned brown. It's darker than my skin tone, but it's not too dark. I love using this on its own. I just put a little bit on my lid, blend it all the way on the lid and up into the crease, and that's it. The matte shades on these are my favorite. I have some of the shimmer ones too, but I love the matte liquid shadows from Armani. They're easy to apply and they last. They really do last all day. I don't notice any creasing or fading when I wear these. And this shade, 22M, I'll swatch it for you, is just my favorite. It's a very unique shade of brown. I feel like it's kind of warm, but kind of cool at the same time. It's so beautiful. I wear it all the time. It's fantastic. If you saw my summer makeup routine, this was the shadow that I wore in that video. It's amazing. Love that one from Armani. But I also love this one. This has been a favorite for a long time and I still consistently reach for it. It's the Rem Beauty Midnight Matte Liquid Shadow in the shade Later. So the formula on this is, I would say, a little bit similar actually to the Armani. I think the Armani is a little bit thicker, just slightly, than this Rem Beauty one. But this one I love because it is almost not there. It's there, but it's not there. And sometimes I really want that. So that is it there. Almost looks like a concealer. It's just a little bit darker than my natural skin tone. So when I put it on my eyes, it looks like my eyelids are evened out and I have just the slightest bit of something on my eyes, but it's almost undetectable. I wear this one all the time also. I really want to get more of these. I'm kind of surprised that I have not, but this formula is really, really nice. Very easy to apply, not patchy, blends really evenly, lasts well on the eyes. I love it. I wear this one also all the time. And finally, number 3, I've definitely talked about this one here and there. I learned about this from Jessica Braun. This Maybelline eyeshadow, it's a single shadow in the shade Nude Glow. This is a little bit, it's a metallic shadow, so this is not matte, but it's not super glittery or anything. It just has a little bit of a metallic finish to it, but look at that color. It is beautiful. This is such a perfect one and done eyeshadow if you want a little bit of that radiant finish, but you don't want something super glittery and reflective. This is perfect. You can just pop it on your lid with your finger, and that's it. And actually, this shadow is very similar to a shadow you're gonna see later in the video that's in a palette that I love, and I just now kind of realized that this is kind of a dupe for the shadow that I'm talking about. So we'll get to that when we get to eyeshadow palettes, but this is fantastic from Maybelline. This shade is kind of hard to find. I think the last time I went to link it, the only place I could find it was Amazon. So I hope this shade is not being discontinued, but it is fantastic. I use it all the time. All right, let's move on to palettes. I know everybody wants to know about the palettes. 2 of these, you've seen them on my channel 1,000 times, but nothing has topped them. The first one, and I'm sorry, I won't spend a lot of time on this, but I have to put it in here because it's the truth. Ethereal Eyes has to be in here. I freaking love this palette. I've again talked about this one into the ground at this point, but this palette is everything. It is exactly what the name says. Ethereal is the perfect name for this palette. The mattes are the most creamy, just easy to apply. They practically blend themselves. I mean, every color in here I love, every single shade, and that is not something that happens often. Usually there's at least one shade in a palette that I'm like, I don't love that shade. Not the case here. I love every single shade. I know you can't get this palette. It was limited edition for some reason that I will never understand. Maybe one day they will bring it back. I just keeping my fingers crossed that they will because it's so beautiful. This palette deserves a permanent place in the Makeup by Mario line. I'll stop talking about it now because you can't get it unless you're planning to pay like 2-3 times the retail cost on a reseller site. Palette number 2. I'm sorry, but it's still this one. It has to be this one, the Patrick Ta Major Dimension palette. This palette is also perfection to me. I freaking love everything about this. I love the color story. I love both of these cream shadows you get in here, a lighter one, a darker one. You get beautiful glittery toppers in here. You can go really light and natural with this, or you can really use these darker browns and bronze and even this like brick color and get something much darker and smokier. The formula is amazing to me on every shadow in here. Whenever someone asks me for a palette recommendation, I would recommend Ethereal Eyes, but I don't because obviously you cannot get it. So this is the one I recommend. I get messages on Instagram a lot asking about, you know, I want to buy an eyeshadow palette. I want something neutral. What is your absolute favorite if you had to pick one from Sephora? And every single time, this is the one. So nothing has topped it. Maybe nothing ever will. I don't know. Now, the third one, I bet you're probably not going to see this one coming. I haven't had this for very long, but this was another one of those things that was love at first use. First time I used this, I think I even said in a video, this is just an instant favorite because it is. This Dior, I never know what to call these. They just say 5 Couleurs on the back palette. I don't know, but these little Dior palettes with 5 shadows in nude dress. I bought this months ago, you guys, and I don't know what happened, but somehow where I had my makeup stored, this kind of got pushed to the back and I just forgot that it was there. I used it and I fell madly in love, and now this is making it in my top 3. This is what I have on my eyes today. I used a little bit of all of these colors. The color story, this level of pigment, the finish, this beautiful like satiny finish eyeshadow. I love this so much. I would cry if something happened to any of these 3 palettes. That's how deep of a love I'm talking about. Yes, this is the old version of the Dior Quad. I have not tried the new one, so I don't know how Nude Dress is in the new formula compared to this one. This was purchased months ago, like I said, so this is not the new version, but I absolutely love this. If I want the Blair makeup look, Blair eye look, that is what this palette is. All 5 shades, I love them all. My favorite is this one, this corner shade right here, and that is the one that I was talking about being similar to that Nude Glow shade from Maybelline. So I'm gonna swatch them next to each other. I don't think it's exact, but I think it's close. I guess it's not that close. So that's Dior, that's Maybelline. So Dior is a little bit darker, but they definitely give a very similar vibe on your eyes. So now I know why I love this so much, because it does kind of remind me of this Dior palette, but I really want some more of these, but I think I probably want this version of them. So I don't know. Let me know your thoughts on the new ones if you have one. Please let me know what you think. Moving on to eyeliner. This was a super easy category for me. Number 1 is a favorite, and it has been since I tried this years ago at this point, the Charlotte Tilbury Eye Powder Pencil. This is just an eyeshadow, but in a pencil form. So you get an eyeliner, like a traditional eyeliner, but it's much softer. It gives you the look of eyeshadow, which if you're going for a really subtle, everyday eyeliner or wing, I find eyeshadow usually is the way to go. Usually that just gives you a softer, everyday kind of look. So that's what this is, but in a pencil. I use it all the time. I used this today actually for my wings. I went over it with something else that I'll talk about in a minute, but I used this first to kind of get the shape of the liner that I wanted. I use classic brown. They do make a black, and then they also make a shimmering brown, which is more of a bronze. I have that one too, and I love that too, but so good, so good. This is such a staple Blair eye product. Then my second pick were the Makeup by Mario Master Pro Pigment Eyeliners. I have the Perfect Brown and Soft Brown. Another staple for me, I use these all the time. This is a great one for your waterline. They stay, they do not transfer down. I have 2 shades, like I said. So one of them, which is the Perfect Brown, is darker, and then Soft Brown is a little bit lighter. It's a little bit more of a warm reddish brown. I love them both, and I use them both all the time. I also use the little brush you get on the other end. You can kind of use this to smudge it out or make a little bit of a wing with it. These are just great. I use and reach for them constantly, so I knew these had to be included. And then if I'm going for a liquid liner, so if I want a wing that's a little bit more defined, I will use this one from One Size. The One Size Point Made Waterproof Liquid Eyeliner Pen in Busty Brown. So I have this on over the Charlotte Tilbury Eye Powder Pencil today. I just wanted a little bit more of the defined wing today. So something I really like to do that makes it a little bit easier is use something like this to kind of map out the shape. And then you can kind of use that guide with your liquid liner. But I love this because, first of all, it's brown. It's a really nice brown color, but this is not, and I don't know if I'm describing this correctly, but this is not a wet felt tip liner. Some liners can be almost a little bit wet on the tip. So when you go to make a really small, precise wing, that can make it kind of difficult. This is like a drier felt tip. I don't know if that makes sense, but that's what I love about this. And the tip of it is also really skinny, very just user-friendly. Not that liquid liner is ever super user-friendly, but I do think of all the liquid liners that I use and that I've tried, this is the one I reach for the most, and it's definitely the easiest in terms of application. So number 3 is the One Size liquid liner. Then moving on to mascaras, these were very easy. I spent no time at all coming up with these 3. And they'll probably be pretty obvious to you. The first one is, of course, e.l.f. Lash and Roll, another product you've heard me talk about so many times. This is my go-to everyday mascara. It's the brown one. They do make it in black. I have not tried the black yet. I should probably get it and try it. This is Benefit Roller Lash. If you like that mascara, if you're familiar with it, it has this rubber wand. It's slightly curved, which I personally love. I love the brown color for every day. This is a very natural mascara though. So if you're looking for something to really amplify your lashes and really make them stand out, this is not that. This is super natural. It's definitely more for length and separation. I literally will never, ever, ever, ever be without this. It's $6, which is even better. Even if it wasn't $6, I would still love it. That just is an added bonus. But you guys, this doesn't smudge on me. It doesn't clump on me. I can't say enough good things about it. Highly recommend. Mascara number 2 is the Maybelline Falsies Surreal. I think this is their newest mascara actually. This is such a good one. This gives a little bit more than the e.l.f. So this is going to give you more fullness and volume than the e.l.f. So if you're looking for something on the more dramatic side, I would go for this. I have this in black brown. They don't make this in just brown, I don't think. But I love this. Don't have trouble with it smudging. It does not clump on me. Honestly, the wand on this, I kept thinking when I was using it, it was reminding me of something, and I realized a few days ago, I think this reminds me of the Rare Beauty mascara, which I also love, but it doesn't come in brown or black brown, which is kind of a bummer, but this wand is very, very similar to Rare Beauty mascara, which is a great one, but this is so nice. Even my mom, who, okay, I've talked about this before, but my mom is the most picky person in the entire world. She will find something wrong with everything, and I love her for it. I wish I was more like that, but she's always trying to find a mascara that she loves, and every time I recommend something, usually I'm like, okay, I'll tell you what I like, but I know you're not gonna like it because she doesn't like anything. But believe it or not, she actually bought this one, and this is Blair's mom approved. So if that should tell you something. If you knew her, you would know that should tell you something because she doesn't like anything, and even she likes this. So mascara number 2 is Maybelline Falsies Surreal. Mascara number 3 is what I have on today, and it's YSL Lash Clash in brown. If I'm doing my makeup like all out like I did today, this is the one. This is the most dramatic of these three, and I love the brown color in this one because it is a true brown. I don't know if it will come off. Yeah, I guess you can kind of tell on camera. It is truly a brown, but this, you guys, makes your lashes out there and in charge. It is very dramatic, but in the best way. And what I will say is I've had this tube open, I think it's been at least 3 months now, and it's still going strong. I'm not having any issues with the formula or anything like that. I love it. Would absolutely pay the high-end price for this. That's how much I like it. I don't always do that with mascaras, but this is one that 10 out of 10 recommend and will repurchase. And finally, for the lips, I did not do an individual category for each type of lip product, except lip liner. I have so many lip liners and I love so many that I wanted to put lip liner in its own category. But lip products, I just picked 3 lip products, whether it was a gloss, a lipstick, a lip balm, whatever. So these are truly my ultimate favorites. But we'll start with lip liner. We'll start with the one that I'm wearing today, and this is pretty new to me, but again, this one had my heart from the very first time that I used it. Even before I bought this, I kept seeing people use it, and every time I would see it, I just felt the color on this was made for me, and it is. It's the Dior lip liner in Brown Fig. This is brown, but it has a little bit of like a rosy, mauve-y undertone, and that is kind of how I would describe my natural lip color. So I think that's why I love it. So this is Brown Fig. It's darker than my lips, so it does give me that contoured lip look, but it's not too dark that it's hard to work with and it looks unnatural. I love this so much. It's very creamy, but not too creamy. Has a brush on one end so you can kind of smudge it out, clean up the line if you want. I love this color so much. And that's mainly what I'm putting this in here for, is the color. The formula is good. It's not anything that I've never seen before, but it's good. But this I knew had to be in because I'm obsessed with this color. Number 2 is a longtime favorite. I know this has made it into so many videos on my channel, and it is still one of my favorite lip liners, Pat McGrath in Structure. Kind of similar to Brown Fig, but this one is more rosy, not as brown, but you can see here it's similar to Brown Fig, which makes sense why I would like it. So this is Structure, this is Brown Fig. So to me, you can definitely tell Structure's a little bit rosier, Brown Fig is a little bit more brown, but I love them both. In terms of which lasts the longest on my lips, the Pat McGrath to me lasts the best. This one I can eat, drink, do whatever, and this lasts well on my lips. And I love the creaminess. It's creamy, but not too creamy. I love it. It's just a staple for me at this point. So that is lip liner number 2. Lip liner number 3 is from Essence, and it's the 8-Hour Comfort Matte Lip Liner in Rosy Nude. Again, if you want something that lasts, that's affordable, just a basic matte lip liner, these from Essence are fantastic. Let me swatch it next to them. So this is the Essence. So Essence is the lightest one in Rosy Nude, then Structure, then Brown Fig from Dior. But these are very creamy, almost like a velvety texture, and these are retractable. So you just twist it up, and they really do last. It says 8-Hour Comfort Matte, and that is an accurate name. It lasts for a very long time. It's matte, and it's just very comfortable to wear and to apply. So number 3 has to go to Essence Rosy Nude. And finally, my 3 lip products that I love, I use more than anything, that I cannot live without. First up, Another one you hear me talk about all the time, and they are still favorites, the Makeup by Mario Moisture Glow Lip Serums. I'm a broken record with these also, but I love them. They are glossy. They have some pigment, but not a ton of pigment. They are a bit on the thicker side, which is kind of where that serum name comes from, but I personally love that. It's like a balm, a lipstick, and a gloss all in one. I have almost every single shade and I love them all. Here I have Pink Glow, I have Apricot Glow, it's more peachy. I have Rosewood Glow, more rosy. I have Blush Glow, which is more of like a true pink. I always have one on my desk here. I have one in my purse. I love them. If you're into that glossy, balmy look with a little bit of color, those are fantastic. They are very similar to my second product. So I almost didn't pick both, but I used them too much to not pick both. I had to. So the new YSL Candy Glaze lip gloss sticks. These are very, very, very similar to the Makeup by Mario Moisture Glows. You don't need both. This is just the kind of lip product that I love and reach for all the time, so I have them both in here. But the YSL definitely wins in terms of the packaging. I mean, look how pretty. It's heavy. These are so good. So, so good. I have two of them. I have shade 15, which is more of a nude, and then I have shade 2, which is like a light pink. It doesn't give a ton of color, but it gives just a little bit of a pinky hue. Today I have on Dior Brown Fig with this on top in shade number 2, and this lip combo, this is everything I love. It is, I honestly think the YSL Candy Glaze is even glossier than the Makeup by Mario, and those are very glossy. But I feel like these are even glossier. I love them. There are a bunch of colors. I have shade 2 and shade 15. I love them. Again, I've been keeping shade 15 in my purse and shade 2 here on my desk, but they are sadly worth the hype. I know these have kind of been all over the place lately, but I have to say they're worth it. I would buy all of them, honestly. I love them that much. And then finally, I am such a gloss girl. I am very much a lip liner and a lip gloss person, much more than a lipstick or a liquid lipstick. I have a lot of lip glosses for this reason, and I love so many of them, but the one I feel like I use the most for the formula and the color is the Fenty. This is Fenty Heat Gloss Bomb, so this one does kind of have that tingly feeling, but I also love just the original Fenty Gloss Bomb in Fussy. But Fussy Heat is just everything. I love this color. It is the perfect pink. Like, I mean, it's just perfect. I love this shade of pink, and I don't mind the Heat formula. It really doesn't bother my lips, but it definitely does tingle. So if that bothers you, maybe go for the original formula, but this is just a classic. It's so good. I also love the smell of these. I don't really know what it smells like, but I love the smell of the Fenty glosses. I have so many of these and I love them, but the one I use the most is the Fenty Heat in Fussy. And that's going to be it for part 2 in my top 3 in every makeup category. I hope you enjoyed it. I will have everything listed and linked below for you. As always, they are affiliate links, so if you do shop through them, I do make a commission. I will have everything else, my merch and everything I'm wearing linked below as well. And make sure you watch part 1 if you have not seen that. I will link that below for you as well. Make sure to subscribe if you have not already and follow me on Instagram at simply.blair and TikTok simply.blair1. And I will see you next time. Remember, simply be you. Bye.